Thank you, Mrs. Darcy, for coming to see me today. So I've taken the time to review our discussion earlier about your business expansion. From the information I have gathered, you are looking to ensure startup costs are low, even if that requires having a partner within the same industry as you. In this report, I have outlined key business structures that you can consider in your expansion of your business, Cupcake Mania. I will provide to you 2 business structures that you can consider. These include partnership structure and company structure. I will outline the advantages and disadvantages of each option and proceed to provide my recommendation to you. So to begin, I will describe the aspects of sole proprietorship for you to consider when your business grows. A sole proprietorship means you are personally responsible for all aspects of the business. You are responsible for the management and financing of the business and also the employment. There are a number of benefits of being a sole trader. These include having full control of your profits, assets, and business decisions. It requires fewer reporting requirements as compared to a company structure, and it has very minimal costings. But more importantly, the sole proprietor structure makes it relatively easy to change your business structure when your business grows. Being a sole trader does come with a number of disadvantages, such as having unlimited liability, meaning your personal assets can be seized by the bank to recover debt. It is also much more difficult to obtain finance if you were to expand. From our previous meeting, you did advise that it would cost approximately $35,000 to start the new cafe in Palm Cove. You also proceeded to advise that this amount of borrowed money would cause significant pressure on your small family. Therefore, I will provide 2 other business structures that you can consider. The first alternative is a company structure. A company structure is governed by the Corporations Act 2001. In legal terms, a company is defined as a separate legal entity and hence is treated as a distinct person, separate from the person who made it. It has the ability to incur debt and also to be sued. There are a number of different types of companies, structures that you can adopt, such as a public company or a proprietary company. A company is made up of directors who manage the company and shareholders who own the company. This contractual relationship is governed by not only the Corporations Act, but also, if necessary, a company constitution. If there is no constitution within the company will follow the replaceable rules set out in Section 135 of the Corporations Act. These rules essentially govern the activities and operations of the company. In reference to Cupcake Mania, I would suggest a small proprietary limited company. This type of company usually is made up of at least one director and no more than 50 shareholders. The directors are responsible to manage the company's business and affairs. They face a number of obligations, such as to act within a certain degree of care and diligence that is expected of a reasonable person in the role. Secondly, to act in good faith in the best interest of the company for a proper purpose. And thirdly, to not improperly use a position or information to gain advantage for themselves. Directors who do not abide by these duties imposed on them by the Corporations Act can be found guilty of an offence. So therefore, the primary duty as a director is to operate in the best interest of the company. Shareholders essentially own the business with a specific number of share interests that they have bought of the company. Shareholders make a number of decisions on special issues that affect the company by passing a resolution, which essentially is a formal process where decisions are made by a meeting of shareholders. These resolutions can be ordinary resolutions or, if permitted in the Constitution, special resolutions. The advantage of operating a small proprietary company is that it is regarded as a separate legal entity. So for example, imagine your business, Cupcake Mania, being its own person, where you have to look after its best interests. This also means that the company is seen as being capable of holding its own assets in its own name and liable for its own obligations. This separation of Cupcake Mania from its directors is termed the corporate veil. This is a legal concept that separates the company from its shareholders. In some instances, the court can lift this corporate veil to determine if a company's conduct is in accordance with the Corporations Act. Due to shareholders' investment, a proprietary limited company can have a maximum of 50 shareholders. This will give you access to a wider capital base through the shareholders. meaning you'll have more funding for the business. The disadvantages of operating a company is that it is expensive to establish. It costs approximately $469 to incorporate a business through the regulatory body ASIC, the Australian Securities Investment Commission. The other key disadvantage is that there is a lot more unexpected costs with the company. It is not easy to establish and to comply with the reporting requirements, which can be very complex. And unfortunately, if you fail to abide by the rules and regulations as directed, you can be held personally responsible for not operating in the best interests of the company. My second recommendation is that of a partnership structure. A partnership is a type of business structure where two or more individuals or companies combine their money, skills, resources to carry on a business in view of a profit. The profit and loss of the business is shared between the partners in accordance with the partnership agreement. Now, you do not have to have a partnership agreement, which is a legal contract that sets out the roles and responsibilities of each partner. But the Partnership Act, Section 6, does define that receipt by a person of a share of the profits of a business is prima facie evidence, which is a legal assumption that on the face of it, he or she is a partner in the business. So, for example, if you and another person were to operate the same business, share the responsibilities, profits and losses of the business, that can be seen as a partnership without having to be an agreement between the two. Does that make sense? The benefits of a partnership structure is that the startup costs are small, similar to that of a sole trader. You do not have the expensive costs of incorporation of a company. Another key advantage is that you'll have a more capital base available to the business. With the operation of the partnership, unlike a company structure, there is limited external regulation, making the paperwork and other requirements very streamlined and easy to operate. The disadvantages of a partnership structure is that similar to sole proprietorship, partners are liable for the debts of the business. Section 8 of the Partnership Act gives the power of the partner to bind the firms. Therefore, you'll be held liable to the decisions made by the other partner. Another risk of a partnership structure is disagreements and friction among partners and management. Thus, if one partner decides to leave, the remaining partner will be left to buy out the other share of the partner or have someone else to buy into the business, which, as you can see, can be quite stressful and expensive. It is therefore within my recommendation that you adopt a partnership structure to open your business Cupcake Mania in Palm Cove. As noted in our previous meeting, you have stated that you are in the very early discussions in joining with another business owner who currently bakes goods from their home and is also interested in opening a store in the Northern Beaches area of Cairns. The reasons as to why a partnership structure will be the best alternative is because the startup costs are more manageable, as both partners will be able to halve the startup costs of $30,000. Unlike sole proprietorship, where you'll have to borrow the $30,000, which can cause significant financial burden, or the company, where the costs can be much higher for you personally before shareholders' contribution. A partnership structure will also allow you to still have control over the business, but only as negotiated with the other partner. In saying this, within the partnership agreement, you can both agree to separate key responsibilities, such that you can tailor the business so that you can concentrate on one particular area of the business, such as management of staff and cake orders. Another reason as to why a partnership structure is my recommendation is because it allows you to diversify your range of goods for sale. This diversification will allow you to appeal to different target markets and essentially becoming more profitable. Due to the manageable startup costs, ease of management with a partnership agreement, and diversity of sale items, I believe a partnership would be the best structure for you to consider when expanding your business. Do you have any questions?